Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're actually going to start doing some of the camper parts of our conversion. Everything up to now has been like maintenance issues, you know, the brake pads, installing the auxiliary lights, taking care of that rear door lock actuator. Yesterday, and I still haven't cleaned up, maybe you can see in the background there, we installed the dual battery setup. You can also see some wire running in here. I have not been filming the wiring. That would be the most boring video in the world because it would just be me trying to figure out where to run the wire. As soon as the wiring is all done, I'll take you on a tour of it to see what I did to fit our needs. But for now and for today, we're actually going to start with some of the parts that will constitute the walls and the coverings on the inside of the van here. Specifically, we're going to be making boxes around the wheel wells. The wheel well on the driver's side is going to be also housing the distribution panel for the electric. On the passenger side, it's really just going to be over the wheel well. We're doing boxes for a couple of reasons. I like to work with straight angles. We know straight angles are just easier to work with. So that when we put the walls in, it's just going to be a 90-degree cut to go over the wheel well. So let's get started on that. In my quest to keep it simple, we're just going to be making the boxes out of this nice 1x1 material I got from Home Depot. It'll go together easily. This will kind of be just like a mock-up today for the most part. I'm waiting for some connectors that'll make everything a little bit stronger, but I want to just kind of get it mocked up, maybe be able to cut out the actual panels themselves, and then we can kind of tighten everything up together. So the first thing is to make some very precise measurements and let's get it kind of mocked up in here. Pre-drilling the holes here. Well, we're pretty much out of wood. I had just gotten enough initially, again, to kind of do this mock-up. Apparently I didn't get enough even to do the mock-up. So it's off to the store. Maybe that's a job for tomorrow. So we will see you later, probably tomorrow. Well, it's still today. I knew I said it was going to be tomorrow, but it's still today to get the wood unless you're watching this yesterday or the day after tomorrow. Anyway, I'm still here. I put this top part in. I also went ahead while my phone/camera was charging, built the box over here. It was just rinse and repeat. This is actually an easier one. Fits right over, perfect over the wheel well. What I have to do now is locate the distribution box, and this is going to work out perfect. So I can put it in the corner right here. And then I bought some craft boards, basically, to put on the other side, and then I'll put one underneath the bottom to hold this thing in place. Then I can cut out the panels and get these things fitted. So first though, need to cut this 11 3/4 inches tall, cut another one across the bottom to support the panel, and then that'll be great. All right, this is cut. It's the right distance. Going to fit in there perfect. I'm still going to have to put one on the bottom here. These mounting screws for the distribution panel aren't really right in the corner. They rely on something being on the top and the bottom. I thought I might get away with just having something on the side, but that's not the case. So I still got to put a piece below there, but I'm just going to zip this in with a couple little trim screws, and that should hold it just fine. You always want to pre-drill your holes so you don't get any splitting. All right, we have our wood in place now. Here's our distribution panel. Fits right in there. Perfect, plenty of room behind for all the wires and everything. So I'm very happy with how this turned out. So now going to start cutting some of the exterior panels to go on the outside of the box, and maybe even get to a little bit of upholstering of them today.
Hi y'all, I got recruited for the artsy craftsy part of this. So we got some vinyl at Joann's, and that's what we're going to be doing our walls with. And then we have some test panels that fit the side of the boxes that we're going to try out. And so we are using spray adhesive to put the vinyl on the panel. And a lot of people use a different type of spray adhesive, but we had this lying around, so we thought we would check it out and see how it worked. Time will tell. All right, and then we have our panel.
That's going to go on the box that I just made over the wheel well.
Yep. All right. Now we're going to let it dry for a long time and make sure that it works the way we want to.
All right, it is officially tomorrow now compared to when it was yesterday. So we're continuing on with our wheel well box install / making them / install. The panels that Kim and I did yesterday turned out really, really well. That can of Gorilla spray adhesive we had was a couple years old. Frankly, I didn't know if it was going to work all that well. But the edges are great. It's not coming up anywhere. It turned out really, really well. We really like this marine grade vinyl. One reason we chose this vinyl over a fabric, because other people doing this had heard that if you put down too much adhesive with fabric, that it could like bleed through and create like crusties on the top. Well, this vinyl is waterproof, water resistant, one of the two. Anyway, it didn't bleed through at all, and it turned out really, really well. And again, no edges are coming up. I did go get some 3M Super 77 in case the Gorilla stuff runs out, so we'll give that a shot as well. What we're going to do now, make a panel for here. We'll have to cut out for our distribution box, which is going to go there. Maybe even craft a lid today. I'll see if I have enough wood, but hopefully we'll at least get this box done today, and it'll be just kind of rinse and repeat for that other one. So let's go ahead and get started on today. It doesn't happen often, but occasionally I'll get a stroke of genius that other people have probably already thought about 20 years ago. Instead of getting out the tape measure and measuring, I just decided to go ahead, put it on my wood, grab my trusty Sharpie, do the outline, and voila. Now I just got to get out my jigsaw, cut that out. Oh, while I'm at it, I need to do where the distribution box is going to go. There we go. Boom. Just got to cut it out now. All right, I just cut out the piece to fit the box. Pretty good fit. A little janky right there, but that's okay. There's actually going to be a L trim piece to go on each corner there, cover up any imperfections, just to not have a seam there. But looking pretty good. So I have kind of test fitted one of the first panels right here. It's off a little bit. The whole reason we're starting with the wheel boxes is because this is all going to be under the bed, and we probably really won't see much of these anyway. So this is a great thing to experiment with to make sure we get everything down. I mean, it looks okay. Again, it'll be out of sight, out of mind for the most part. We're going to kind of work on the lid now, but of course, once again, I ran out of wood. What I'm going to do is insert these 1/4 inch by 20 wood inserts into the top of the frame. And I ordered some they call them thumb screws, but they're basically plastic knobs that'll screw into here. So I thought about putting the lid on a hinge, but again, the bed is going to be right here, so it makes no sense to have a hinge there because you wouldn't be able to open it anyway. So we'll have a little thumb screws on one on each side to be able to take the lid off, to be able to get to all the electrical stuff if we need to. So at least for right now, I'm going to insert these wood threaded things in here. Then start upholstering the front panel, the side panel, and then for today we'll be done with this one. All right, going to go ahead and install this other panel on the side here. It's not fully dry yet, but I figure installing it, we'll kind of press it down and we'll keep that glue in the material in place. I'm using a pan head Phillips screw, and I got these cool little covers. Let me show you what it looks like. So it's basically a washer with a cover on it. So there's no exposed screw heads, which I like a lot. I'm going for as clean a look as possible, as much as I can at least. So it goes right through like that, and then this little cover will come up and go boop right like that. Again, there's going to be a piece of trim over here, but I'm going to go ahead and put a screw right now, at least while this dries. But again, we'll have a quarter trim there, or angle trim, whatever you want to call it. Finished product. Looks pretty good. All right. We got the piece with the distribution panel cut, upholstered, put on. That was a chore. I haven't done a piece this big yet. I can hardly wait till we get in and do the wall panels. That'll be interesting. Luckily with this vinyl, even where I got some spray adhesive on the outside of it, it's pretty much like rubbing off once it dries, so that's really good. Another benefit of not having fabric, so with the fabric it would just soak right in. So we're going to go ahead and zip this in and go see how it looks inside. All right, just finishing up the lid for the passenger side wheel well box. Just kind of rolling this out, flip it over. Go ahead and bring the edges in. So I got this 3M Super 77. Works just as good as the Gorilla stuff. I thought the Gorilla stuff was worked pretty good yesterday, even though it was pretty old. The Gorilla stuff seems to actually set up a little quicker. You got a little more time with this stuff. So I can do that side, do this side. Get the wood and the material. Gonna wait a minute. And I found that when I was doing it really quickly before, it was falling back. So it literally says, wait until it's extra tacky. I don't want, I've already got enough on my fingers, I can't tell. But see, that's wet right now. That's definitely wet. So I can wait another 45 seconds or so probably. Now it's starting to get tacky. Waiting. It's all good. Don't be in a hurry. I always get impatient. And screw something up. I think that's good. Here we go. Yep, it's sticking. Sticking very well. A difficult aspect of this is not putting your workpiece into where you've sprayed glue, because this stuff stays tacky for a long time, and you don't want to get it on the actual material. There we go. One lid complete. Well, there you have it. One wheel well box pretty much done. Still waiting for a couple things. The thumb screws to actually tighten the lid down, and then I'm getting some trim pieces that are going to go on the edges here. Other than that, other than being installed in the van and tied into the van walls, this thing is done. Maybe 5 minutes more work on it. So not too bad. I'm pretty happy with it. First time ever upholstering, if you want to call it that. Basically just gluing fabric down. I still need to work on how to get those corners better. If you have any ideas, if you've done this before, maybe put it in the comments. But I feel pretty good about it. Not too bad. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.